Today, we have somebody very, very special. Not only is he the owner of the best gym in Arizona, Hive Fit Club, but he's also someone that I have a lot of respect for because he's bounced back from starting a business, going into $250,000 in debt, and since then doing $250 million.
Man, I was just going through the motions. I was just feeling like kind of burnt out, and I'm like, dude, I'm 31 freaking years old. What is going on? 2010, man, I feel like that is the day that my life changed because I took action, and it didn't show up in my lap. I had to do the work. I reached out for help, and I said, I take personal responsibility for how I got here, and I'm also going to take personal responsibility for making the changes. I need to make money because there's people depending upon me. If you want to grow in an area, you have to have a coach. You have to pay for some things in your life. You're either going to, learn it through knowledge, you're going to learn it through lessons, and I've learned a lot of lessons. You are where you are because of your previous choices.
All right, guys, welcome back to another episode of Bridging the Gap. I'm your host, Bridger Rogers, and today we have somebody very, very special. Not only is he the owner of the best gym in Arizona, Hive Fit Club, okay, I'm wearing one of their t-shirts, but he's also someone that I have a lot of respect for because he's bounced back from starting a business, going into $250,000 in debt, bouncing back, and since then doing $250 million in top line revenue through Optavia, okay, which is a health multi-level marketing system that Doug used to actually get into incredible shape. He's been married for 25 years to the love of his life, Tia.
That's exactly right.
Yeah, Tia, and he's traveled the world. Okay, he's created a life of personal freedom, and he's also developed what he calls the millionaire mindset. Okay, and I'm excited to jump into the show because whether you're just starting out your journey and you want to know how to bounce back, maybe you're in a tough situation financially, or maybe you're already on the come up and you want to get some of those, like you said, the mindset for massive impact. You want to go to the next level. You said something earlier off camera that I think we'll dive into, which is like you're not always going to be at your peak.
Yeah.
So how do you ride the peaks and valleys and keep a positive mindset? And now with the journey of creating the greatest gym on the planet, we'll talk about that and how the story behind that and where that's going to go. It's just so cool, man. So Doug, welcome to the show.
Yeah, brother. Appreciate the invite. Long overdue, and I'm happy to be here, man.
Absolutely. And he's also the author of Church Boy to Millionaire. Okay. The author, Doug Wood, he's sitting here with us today. And it's probably one of the most unique books on the planet. And I'll tell you why. You can flip to any chapter inside of this book and read it as a standalone chapter. You don't need to read it chronologically. So whether you got 10 minutes and you just want to jump in and grab a nugget, we're definitely going to put a link to this at the end. I want you to grab this book. So Doug, take me back to the beginning because you weren't always, massively successful, creating massive teams, massive impact. There was a season in your life before all of this, the after. Take me back to that. What was that Doug struggling with? Where was he at in life? And how did he start to begin his entrepreneurship journey?
Yeah, Bridger. Well, we're all born, and then we all wake up and we're actually reborn. And like, okay, you know what life am I supposed to live? What life was I meant to live? And for us, it was 2010. My wife and I had been married 10 years. I was deeply in debt. I owned a furniture store when I lived in Portland, Oregon. And man, I was just going through the motions. I was just feeling like I was just kind of burnt out. And I'm like, dude, I'm 31 freaking years old. What is going on? I'm passing out eating Cheerios and nachos in front of the TV every single night. And my kids are like 3 and 1. And like, I'm like, I feel just worthless. I just really, as a human, I just feel like, man, I'm better than this, but I didn't know how to get out. And I literally said, there's not a lot I control right now in this season. And those of you listening right now, sometimes there's things in our life you cannot control. But what can you control? You. And for me, I was 275, almost 280 pounds. I mean, I came out of my mom's womb at 10 pounds, dude. I was fighting obesity from the day I was born, man. So I feel like it was a 31-year fight. And honestly, today at 46, it still is to this day because I'm always trying to win and level up, but I took personal responsibility of my health and I reached out to a coach. And I believe that if you want to get better in an area of your life, you need a coach. You need accountability. You need someone to guide you. You need someone who's walked a mile in your shoes or has been where you want to go. And it was the first coach I ever hired, and it was actually a health coach. And I reached out. I saw a buddy of mine. He was losing weight online. And I'm like, what are you doing? He said, I'll meet you for coffee tomorrow. I said, I'm in. He said, I will coach you. And that was just like woke me up. And that was 2010, man. And I feel like that is the day that my life changed because I took action and it didn't show up in my lap. I had to do the work. I reached out for help and I said, I take personal responsibility for how I got here. And I'm also going to take personal responsibility for making the changes to be the dad, the husband, or the businessman that I wanted to be.
I love that. And that reminds me of very similar to my journey, which, for me, this was in 2017. I was looking in the mirror after 13 months battling Lyme disease, thought I was going to die. And parents thought I was going to die and all this. And I just started making excuses, for solutions that were promised that didn't come through, bouncing from doctor to doctor. And I kind of gave up on life. I gave up on hope. I lost hope. And I'm like, I'm sure if you guys are listening, maybe you've been hopeless before. You're like, there's no light at the end of the tunnel. This is how my life's going to be. I'm stuck here. But there's always a moment. You're always one decision away from totally changing your life. I remember I woke up that morning, very similar to you. I looked in the mirror and I'm like, there's more. Yeah. God created me for more than just to be a shriveled up sick kid.
That's right.
And I said, I'm going to do
I saw your photo the other day of that too.
You saw that?
Yeah, you were in rough shape.
Dude, I was in rough shape, dude. Yeah. I was 125 pounds.
You look so just like frail and weak. Yeah.
Mindset was weak. I mean, I flipped a switch and I became a totally different person. Yeah. I became the person I am today. Yeah. When I looked in the mirror one day, I think it was mid-February of 2017, and I said, I don't care what hell I have to fight through. I will do whatever it takes. Yeah. And I recommitted to getting healthy. Yeah. I don't care if they got to cut off my left arm. There is no pain I will not go through to get on the other side and win. Yeah. And it's that one decision, guys, if you're watching this, to change, and it's your willingness to take action and take that first step. So take me back to that coffee meeting. So you're in this coffee meeting, your coach sits you down, and what happens next?
Well, I knew the program worked because he was melting before my eyes. And why I could trust him is he wasn't one of the gurus you see online now. Back then, there weren't a lot of gurus online. I'm making myself sound old, but this is only 15 years ago.
Isn't that crazy?
Facebook's brand new.
It's brand new.
There's no Instagram yet. And I'm fresh off of MySpace. I don't know if you know. So I'm a new convert to Facebook, which Facebook then would have been like TikTok now or whatever the new thing is.
Sure.
So I sat down with him. I already knew it worked, but why I knew I could trust him is because he had authentically shared publicly about his own transformation for a few weeks. So I watched him I say melt before my eyes because he's like, dude, I'm down another 7 pounds. This thing's working. I'm down another 3 pounds. And he lived his journey out. And I'm like, dude, this guy is, first of all, he's being transparent. He's not like an Abercrombie and Fitch model. You're like, oh, yeah, this dude's probably got it all together. But he doesn't relate to a guy that has 80 pounds to lose. And I reached out to him and I talked to him. And then, of course, it came the price. But when you're ready, price should not make a difference. And he didn't have anything all marked up or whatever. But it was $400 for this program and Optavia. And I took my wife to that meeting, too. And I'm like, babe, you want to do it with me? She's like, you know what? If we're going to do this, we need to do it together. And we did it together. I'm very transparent about this. We did not have the money, but I couldn't afford it, but I couldn't afford not to. You're in one of those moments where I literally had to pull out my credit card and throw down $800 because I'm like, this is what I need. This is my step. This is my moment of action. And or put your money where your mouth is. And I did. And I pulled the trigger that day. And that was sometime, I can't tell you the date, but it was sometime in late 2010.
Wow. So Doug, you decided that, you ever heard the saying, like, if you don't pay, you don't pay attention, right? You were ready to pay attention to your success. You were ready to invest in yourself. And most people see themselves and their lives as liabilities instead of assets. And that was the day that you decided to stop being a liability to yourself, to your family, to your community. And you're like, dude, I'm an asset. I'm worth investing into. Talk to me about how much you've invested since then, because I'm sure it's not a small amount.
I totaled up the other day. We're at $1.2 million in coaching, seminars, courses. The most expensive coach I've ever paid in 1 year was $110,000 to coach us for a year. Tia's been a part of a couple of $50,000, $60,000 masterminds. Actually, I did too. I did the first Arate with Ed Milet and Andy Frisella. I think awesome. I paid, I don't know what I paid, 50 or 60 grand, maybe 75 grand. That was cool. Learned all, but I literally paid a coach over $100,000 1 year to coach Tia and I. Why? You want to get better? Hire a coach. And so I have so many different coaches in my life. Years ago, I just used to have a pastor. I'm like, oh yeah, he's my spiritual coach. No, we have financial advisors. People have a financial coach. Most people have better financial advisors than they do their own pastor. So first of all, if you want to grow in an area, you have to have a coach. So we have a marriage coach. We have a parenting coach. We have a business coach. Right now, I have a marketing coach because, truth be told, I'm very honest about this. I suck at marketing. Personally, I'm a very passionate dude.
Yeah.
I'll say what needs to be said. But from a strategy standpoint, I need led. I need guided. You have to pay for some things in your life. You're either gonna learn it through knowledge. You're gonna learn it through lessons. And I've learned a lot of lessons.
So out of the 1.2 million, okay, what's the best investment you've made? Like, what was the best? You're like, man, this was the best ROI, and why?
Probably the first conference I got invited to with Optavia. Then it was like that next step. I'm down 25 pounds. I'm thinking about becoming a coach. At the time, I didn't know it was a multi-level marketing company. I have nothing against them. Clearly, they're freaking amazing. They're one of the most brilliant business models. But I was the guy who was a skeptic before I stumbled into it, and I was like, oh, those things are just, you made all these assumptions about why people got into it, or they just want to make money off of me. And no, maybe the program and the system really, really does work. So I that conference that we took a chance. We left our kids. We flew to Dallas, Texas. We went to a conference. A whole weekend cost about $3,500. And leaders are born at events, and literally there was a leader in me that was bound up in 80 plus pounds. That we came alive and we said, we want to live we want to live a different life. So we took action. We got ourselves in a bigger room, scared the crap out of us. And that was probably the one event just because it was the first event. But then I could tell you about the first 10X conference I was at. I can remember, vividly sitting in a few different people's houses out in Baltimore, Maryland. I can remember moments that I'm like, man, I paid to be here. I'm learning. I'm a sponge. But I would say there's not one big event that I would say that is where I learned everything. It's continually investing every single year, investing in ourselves.
Hey guys, Bridger here. Look, a lot of you guys send me DMs and drop comments asking me how to quit your 9-to-5 job, how to start making real money with the one skill that'll set you free financially, closing. Fastest way to get my help, text me. Text me right now, 480-520-2034. Again, 480-520-2034. I started Bridging the Gap and Freedom Closer Academy to help Gen Zers just like you overcome paycheck dependent syndrome, master high ticket closing, and build a life of freedom, purpose, and income. So if you want my help or you want to work directly with me one-on-one, I have an entire team of coaches dedicated to helping you transition out of your 9-to-5 and start earning what you're worth. So if you want to start earning what you're worth through Freedom Closing, text me right now. I've got your back. Let's get back to the episode. Yeah, I agree 100% with that. And the way I see like personal development and coaching is like building a brick house. Each program, right? Each event, right? Each course, each book is like a brick to the same house. It's like, well, dude, this house didn't get built by one brick. There's not one brick that's better, but maybe some of them you got more bricks out of it. So yeah, I've spent over 370 grand myself.
Have you really?
Oh yeah. Yeah. 24 years old, 370 grand. Dude. Yeah. I made over $1 million in the last 3 years. Yeah. I took 37% and just, I've dumped everything back to myself.
Absolutely.
Rather do that than Uncle Sam, you know what I'm saying?
No, most definitely. Yeah, you need it.
I just hired another coach, a speaking coach, the same coach that, coaches Ed Milet on his talks.
Wow.
His name's Tim Story. So I'm going to really
be Tim. I know Tim.
You know Tim Story?
Oh, heck yeah.
Are you serious?
I've done some cool stuff with Tim.
Have you?
Tim has been a special guy in my life too.
No way. Was he one of your coaches
seasons.
at one point?
I've been to a couple of his events where he's been speaking or we've been speaking together. Yeah. And man, I met him through Michael Burt. Out in Nashville, Tennessee. But anyway, Tim's incredible.
Isn't he incredible?
He's a true lover of people and so spirit-led.
He is.
Where he can just go in and you're like, who is this guy? And then next thing you know, everyone's crying and you're like, duh, like, I suck. God, I need you. Like, I tell you, that guy,
he's a warrior.
Tim's amazing, man.
He's a warrior for the kingdom,
yeah,
man.
He is.
So he's helping me dial in my message because he's like, man, you got a lot of energy, but we got to.
Yeah.
He's like, I want to help unlock that. Yep. He's like, he a lot of people refer to him as the human locksmith. Yeah. Because he helps them unlock.
Yeah, he does.
So we're working on developing my hit song right now. My hit song, because if you, I'm sure you've been to a lot of these events, right? Like these guys have the same talk almost every time. Their signature talk. So I'm developing that. But that's cool, man. I think if you're watching this, right, like it's always that first one that's the scariest. Mm-hmm. And I have a lot of guys that get on the call with me and they're like, $6 grand, dude. Because that's what I charge. I charge $6 grand right now. Maybe I, raise the price by the time.
$6 grand to change your life is how I look like it.
That's what I'm saying. And there's guys in my program that have joined and they were literally working at McDonald's. Yeah. Or they were in school. They didn't know how to make money. Now they're doing 15 grand a month. Sure. I mean, that's life-changing income.
Absolutely.
So you start investing in yourself. You get into Optavia. You become a coach. And how long was it till you had your first big break where you're like, whoa, this is real? like this success is like, you know, a 10x or like a big, you know what I'm saying, hockey stick moment.
Yeah, I'll never forget that moment where I set out a goal. I'm like, I can leave my furniture business if I start making 10 grand a month. And we did it in, I don't know, 12, 18 months.
Wow.
And then I'm like, well, I need to do it consistently before I leave. And boy, by the time I was there, I was just like, dude, I'm getting out of the furniture business. I'm dumping it. And just a redirection season. And so, you know, I'll never forget that. And then most people get satisfied. Most people stop. Most people start spending their money. They stop doing what got them to where they were. And T and I don't have a quitter's bone in us, or you know, we just didn't get comfortable, and we just kept pounding, loving people, serving people, supporting people, and man, we haven't stopped to this day. I mean, of course, you have to pay it stride. You have to, you know, pace yourself. But I know for a fact, you know, we're lovers of people, and if you take care of people, the money takes care of itself.
It really does. So where does this hunger come from? Because like you said, a lot of people stop when they hit a certain level of success, but you guys kept going. What is it inside of you that really drives you? Is it?
Yeah. Why I'm hesitating is because we all have to find that thing that unlocks us. And in the beginning, it was, you know, the biggest, as far as I could see, was getting out of debt. And then you're out of debt, and you're now what? And, you know, if you study Maslow's hierarchy and you really look at, most people are in survival, and we're better at survival when we're running away from something. But once we have it, once there's no tension to keep you going, then what? And we had to like really align our purpose with what were we put on this earth to do. And I don't feel like I figured that out until I was about 38. I had freshly became a millionaire at 37. I feel like at 38, I really started being like, this is why I'm here on this earth. And it is to help people in their family, help people in their faith, and really to understand what taking personal responsibility looks like, to really liberate and help people unlock. And for me, I had been so bound up thinking that I should be doing what my parents were doing. I should be doing what my grandpa was doing. And actually, that's what the book Church Boy to Millionaire is about, is really, I was told, you know, be careful, Doug, don't chase success. Ooh, be careful, money changes people. And, you know, we know all the sayings. Money defines who you are, and it is true. And I started meeting very successful people, and I'm like, man, my mom, my dad, my grandpa, they warned me about these type of people. And I'm like, dude, I know some really good people doing some really cool things. And I was at this one conference one time, and this one person stood up, and he wanted to make the donation that actually put it was at this church thing, and he put the donation over to help like take care of I don't even know what it was. Let's just say it was to build a well in Africa, and we were, you know, $10,000 short. He's like, I got it. I'll cover it. And I'm like, dude, I got jealous of him. I'm like, he was able to step up, raise his hand, and be like, the whole thing was going to fall short. And he was able to just be like, put it on my tab. I've got that. And there was a jealousy in me that was just like, dude, at that time I was buying dinners. I'm like, I want to step up and be the guy that says, I'll cover the remaining 10 grand. Let me handle that. And that's what drove me. And that's what unlocked for us is like, I need to make money because there's people depending upon me. And so T and I attach our income to a service project. And so we align. We already tell the money where to go before we make it. Why would God give me more? When I've dedicated my life to the Lord and I've dedicated my, you know, what I would like to call a kingdom business, why would he just give me? Doug doesn't need another house. I already have 3 houses, okay? I have 6 cars. I don't need more stuff. I've had the boat, the Malibu, the wake setter, the jet skis. I still have them, actually. I've sold the boat. Why? Because it's just stuff. It's cool. I can rebuy it. But I realized I use those times to connect with people and to encourage people. I love to stretch people's dream or show people what's possible. But honestly, at the end of the day, it's just a freaking pink G-Wagon. It's just a vet. It's just a Range Rover. They start to stink after a month anyway, or excuse me, a couple of months. So it's just things like that you begin to unlock. Yes, those are good goals to have. And if you have goals to drive a Lambo or to drive a G-Wagon, keep chasing it because, you know, it is cool. I feel a whole lot better getting into my Range Rover than I do my daughter's Jeep. Okay, I just like the smell of the Range Rover. It is kind of cool. But it's just stuff, and I can't take it with me after this life. So anyway, sorry, there's a little rant for you. But, you know, it's just... Yeah, you got to have a purpose. You got to have a drive. What's driving you to make that money? So we tell our money where to go in advance, and that's what keeps us going. Because right now, I just got back from Africa, Bridger.
Wow.
We were there 2 weeks ago.
Wow.
With our school on a mission, and I'm $250,000 short on being able to finish a project over in Africa. And guess what? Yeah, I could step up and give that if I needed to and want to. And I've invested hundreds of thousands of dollars over there. There were some immediate needs. No, I'm pulling my community. I'm pulling Hive. I'm pulling people in to be a part of that because these kids need me. They need us. They need shoes. They need clothes. They need a protective fence around the school. So anyway, it fires me up, man.
Wow, there's a couple of moments there that I really got to see a little bit more inside of like who is Doug Wood, why he does what he does, and stuff like that. And you mentioned something that I want to go a bit deeper on and really unpack, which is like did you say I tell the money where
I tell the money where to go.
I tell the money where to go before I make it.
It's already accounted for.
What does that mean? What does that look like in practicality?
That's like I call it structural tension. The structure is where I'm at. The goal is where I want to go. These are the action steps to get there. That's what keeps the pressure on. If I do these X amount of action steps, but right now I have to set goals so big that I've already promised. Like I haven't been able to write $1 million check to a couple of my passion projects yet. One of them is sex trafficking. Other of them is Africa. Another one of them is that helps teenage pregnant moms up right here in Arizona. Wow. I have not been able to write $1 million check. The biggest giving check I've been able to write is a couple $100,000. I'm not at $1 million yet, and that pisses me off that I can't write $1 million check because I can't write the check yet. So I have to go. I want to write $1 million check to take care of X, which means guess what, Doug? You haven't worked hard enough. And some people might. I'm a weird dude, but I don't have any debt. I own all my cars. I don't do it, and so because I'm a big believer in unless you can. Unless you are driving, unless you can buy it twice or 3 times, don't buy it. So I like to write checks, and I just want to set a goal so big that just scares me and it keeps me moving, keeps me humble. So.
I love that. Let me make sure the focus is good.
Yeah.
On yours, because sometimes this thing, if I lean too much into it, it'll start messing up the focus. But if I hold down, it should fix it.
Nice.
Just want to make sure because we're gonna get you some good clips. There we go. Okay, now it's tracking. Okay. So you wanna write some big checks. I love that. So talk to me about how you structure it, if you don't mind, because I'm still new to, you know, and I've got some big goals and stuff, and I want to tell my money where to go. I'm inspired now. I want to tell my money where to go before I go. So, let's say I'm making 10 grand a month, okay, and my goal is to make 100, okay. So walk me through that in practicality. Once I get to 100, like, are you saying I'm already like kind of siloing that money?
Sure.
Walk me through that.
Yeah, let me go back because that's actually what my book's about. It's funny, if you go on Amazon and read some of the reviews about my book, there's a lot of really good ones, and there's a few of them like, this sucked. It didn't tell me how to make more money. There's plenty of podcasts and books out there that tell you how to make more money. Mine is liberating the millionaire's mindset. And so I had to understand when the first time somebody told me that $100,000 a year is a lot of money, I believed them. The first time my grandpa told me not to chase money, I assumed money was bad. My grandpa was also a pastor. And then I started thinking, if money's so bad, why is my current pastor, my grandpa who used to be a pastor, and again, I don't talk negative about this. Their mindset around it was, don't chase money. Money's bad. I'm like, well, then why do they collect it in church? It couldn't be that bad. I'm like, I kind of want some of it. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, and they give you 4 ways to give. They pass the bucket. They give you a link. You can drop it in the back. You can give online. They give you 48 ways to give in church. So golly, God needs our money, and doing a good thing with it. And so I realized you have to stop putting limitations on what you can make or what you can give. In the Bible, it talks about tithe, 10%. Well, why 10%? Can it be 11? I used to tithe, Bridger, years ago. T and I used to tithe. If our check was like, we got a check for like $6,000, $423. We would tithe $600. $4 and whatever
$24
to the 10th.
Yeah, to the 10th.
Well, because it said 10%. Well, am I allowed to round up? Like, what would be wrong with not letting the world standards be my standards. Like even if it's biblical 10%. So we realized different ways that we were cheating ourselves years ago. We used to go into Taco Bell and we would order a water cup. And our mindset was, oh, they're a multi-million-dollar company. We'll order a water cup, but we'll still get soda. We were stealing. Like we were robbing from Taco Bell. And people are like, oh, it's no big deal. That's what it's there for. You justify all these little things about the way you do things. Some people will order a meal. They'll purposely try a few bites with full intent. They're going to send it back and tell the server they don't like it. You mean because you're a thief? That's what you are. If you do that, you're a thief. Now once you wake up and you realize, wait a minute, the reason I might not be getting my breakthrough is because I'm ordering a water cup at Chipotle and filling it with 7-Up. Yeah. Small things become who you are and add up to big things. And so we started like taking these limitations off of $100,000 a year is not a lot of money. And nor do I think $1 million is either. Because we've opened it up and we started to trace back at patterns in our life where we've shortchanged ourselves, a friend, a company. It just started baffling us. And so it allowed us to really strip down and go, where do we have a poverty and a broke mindset? But yet we're praying and believing to be millionaires or to be a millionaire mindset. Well, we're doing average things, but yet we're wanting to live an above average lifestyle. So it's just, the carpet ain't matching the drapes, if you know what I'm saying. They gotta talk a little bit. So that was one. But then when we started making bigger money, no matter how much, when we were making small money, we were still going to conferences. When we were making big money, we went to bigger conferences. When we were making bigger money, we started giving more. Yes, we set 10% aside. Then we started giving 15%. Then we started giving 20%. So we started raising our level of abundance. If we're going to raise our standard of living, we're going to raise our standard of giving.
I love that. So you started at baseline. You're like, dude, we're all in for God. We're going all in. And how did that have an impact on the confidence, the faith? I don't know. How did that impact things when you started going above and beyond in these different areas? You stopped shortcutting. You stopped asking for the water cup.
First of all, it's recognizing it. It's recognizing and stop justifying it. So many of us are making excuses, justifications. You're cheating the system. We try to take so many shortcuts in life, and even call it Uncle Sam. Yes, I'm going to use. I love how Donald Trump says, it's like when they talk about how he used to file bankruptcy on companies. Like, yeah, I used the system of America that was put in place to maximize the tax codes. I think that's brilliant, but there's a lot of things that we're doing under the rug that I think that's the type of stuff that you do when no one's looking. And I think it is. It's immoral. Yeah. It manufactures. And so, that's really all I would say on that. Sorry, I forgot the question.
Oh, no. Don't worry. I forgot it too. What was the question? It was a good one, wasn't it? What was that? Hold on. Don't come to me. Wait a second. It was something about, oh yeah. So how did your life change when you started raising the standard on all these small things in life?
Well, I'll tell you a story. We'd closed our furniture store years ago. It's in my book about closing down the store before, and I still had a lease to pay on it. I thought I was going to be filing bankruptcy, and we had paid off almost every single debt, and we had a garage sale. And this is years ago. I don't know if people still have garage sales, but they don't have a lot of them. Okay, yeah. Garage sales. And I was selling off all my computer equipment and staplers and chairs and tables and stuff. And I thought that was going to be mine and my wife's money to buy us a few months until we got like a new business started. And I walked away with $20,000 from this garage sale and in cash. And so it's like, no one's going to know about it. This is going to buy us, definitely more than a few months. We were living pretty lean at the time. And all of a sudden a bill shows up a bill hadn't even shown up in the mail because we didn't give nobody our address. But we had paid everything off we knew we had. And we found this random bill to this. It's called Martin Furniture out of California. And it was for $17,000. And Tia's like, Doug, look what I just found. And we thought we had paid everything off. And we were like going to be like, buy us time.
Yeah.
We found this bill. It was $17,000. And Tia looked at me. She's like, what are we going to do? And I'm like, they haven't called in months. They haven't sent nothing. And I called them. And I said, hey, did I owe this? And I checked my records, and I had owed it. They thought they had already closed my store. They couldn't find me. They hadn't really sent much on it. And I put the money in the bank, and I sent them a personal check for $17,000. I said, Tia, we have to pay it. Like, God, didn't bring us this far to let us fail now. And I said, we're at $250,000 in paying. At this time, we're like $233,000 in paying off debt. And I said, we have to do this thing right all the way because I know it affects our future. And our decisions, the decisions you make today have huge impact on your future. So we called them up. We paid it. They called me back a few days later, and they were just like, no one's ever done this. Like, we've been looking. We've been looking for you guys. We didn't know where to find you because they didn't have our personal phone numbers or anything like that. And I said, they said, why'd you send it in? And I said, because I answer to God. I don't answer to man. And literally it was a few days later, somebody else called me to run their company. And like, I got a job a couple days later, and like, it liberated how I found out about Optavia to get healthy and stuff. And that was a principle of stewardship. Like, will you be faithful in the small when you don't have to? And I knew from that moment, Bridger, I was going to do the right thing always. When I wasn't going to be compromised. I wasn't going to take shortcuts. And I made a promise to myself and my family. I'm like, I'm going to do the right thing always, and that's integrity. And I feel like I am today living in the blessing of writing that $17,000 check when that left me with $3,000. And guess what? I know for a fact to this day, I wouldn't have had to send in that money. I would have, don't get me wrong, I owed it. They would have never found me. It would have been on my credit report. But I did the right thing, and I know that was 16 years ago. I'm living in the blessing of that today.
Such a powerful story. You know, I heard a story one time. It was about this guy that used to, kind of scam this vending machine. He figured out how to scam this machine. He'd figured out, how to get free stuff out of it. And when he grew up older, he wanted to make account for all these things. He went back to the person that owned the vending machine, and he paid him like, I don't know, he figured out the number and paid him like $2,500, for all the things he'd stolen from there. And it was almost like a weight was lifted off of him. There's some sort of like, do you think, Doug, it's like some sort of spiritual law that God put into the universe when you're stealing? Or like, walk me through, like, what is it that holds that fabric together that when you do those things, it's like, man, that weight's lifted off. There's liberation, like you talked about.
Yeah, I'm definitely not a teacher. I learn through experience, and I share through passion. Learned from Bob Proctor years ago, the late Bob Proctor, incredible teacher about the laws of abundance. And I feel like there's this universal law of abundance that operates. I also, I'm a golfer, and I talk about the golf gods. If you don't re-rake your sand trap, nope, no one's around, I'm just going to leave this. You're going to hit crappy sand shots the rest of your life. If you don't fix your ball markers, guess what? You're never going to putt well. I fully know that, you might get away with it today. You might be making a couple $1 million. You might be, but deep down inside, something about your money is not pure. You got to clean that up. You got to purify it. You got to take responsibility. It might be a short-term loss, but it literally is a long-term gain. It might show up in your reputation. And so I'm a strong, not just believer. I've personally experienced it, and people that I started in this game with, or even people that you or I listen to this podcast used to listen to. You're like, where'd they go? I haven't seen them at a conference in a while. Maybe they didn't just quite make the turn. Maybe there was things out of order. I mean, that's actually, this is a great tee up, Bridger. I was at a conference that we've all probably heard of or been to a few years ago, and some of the speakers began to share from stage how great their life was, how much money they were making, how much volume they were doing. And I'm sitting in the audience going, dude, I make more than them. And again, I've made a lot of money in my life. Now I realize that. But I'm like, why are they on stage and I'm not? And guess what? I still have a really shitty Monday. And they're sitting there talking about how perfect their life is. If you just do my 7-step course and your life will be great. You'll be flying private jets and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, yeah, I'm renting a jet, a couple times a year, but I'm not. They're making it sound like, and I know what they're making because they're telling me and they're boasting about it, which means usually people are boasting about it. They did it, they're not really doing it.
Yeah, they're not doing it anymore.
And they're on stage at a conference that I paid to go to. And I'm like, something is not right. And that's when I began to wake up and realize that, you know what? It kind of turned me off to just kind of, I understand, who you are in the green room and who you are off stage actually defines you, not who you are on stage. And so it made me want to be an authentic. It made me write this book from a very pure, humble place, because I'm like, I don't want to be that guy. Tell me how to get through my Monday or my Saturday. Don't just tell me about how 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 perfect of a life, and you work 2 hours here, and like I don't want to hear that. Tell me how to love my wife better. Tell me how to do the right thing always. Tell me how to take personal responsibility. Like, teach me how to do the right thing always. Teach me that when I'm going in and I'm tempted to whack off or look at porn, like teach me something, how you're a successful businessman. You're like, oh, don't look at that. Well, tell me why not to, and tell me some tools. And so I get fired up about these subjects because, everyone talks and says buzzwords. I'm like, oh yeah, this, that. But bro, like, give me a vulnerable moment of how you're breaking through, or you're in the process. And you don't have to be perfect. You can be like, look, I'm still not perfect myself, but here's the path. Here's what I'm trying. Here's what I'm digging into.
This is the perfect tee up, because I wanted to dive in next to take me back to one of those vulnerable moments, one of those pit moments, where you're in the pit and, hope is starting to collapse, and you feel the shackles of all the different, overwhelm and debt, and things are coming in, and it's one of those days where compound bad things are happening. Take me back to one of those moments. And when you started to spiral, everybody has a spiral moment, but there's also a moment where you're like, I'm done spiraling. I'm going to spiral the other way. And I think that would be a great story if you're down to dive into one of those moments, because somebody watching this right now might be in one of those moments.
Truth is, if you're doing it right, you're going to often be in those moments. I've said for a long time that we all pray the same prayer or the same desperation. Like, God, I need you. I need your strength. God, I need a miracle. There's a guy out there praying right now for $100 to make groceries for his family this week. There's somebody else out there praying for $1,000. There's somebody out there needing $10,000 by Monday. Somebody out there is needing $100,000. Guys like me are needing $1 million. We're saying the same prayer. We're on our knees every single morning. We're in the Word. We're just saying, God, I really feel like I suck right now. I really feel like I'm in over my head. And truth is, Bridger, I feel like that right now. I continue to put myself, I've always said, put yourself in bigger rooms and you'll grow. Opening the Hive scared the absolute piss out of T and I, but we knew 3.5 years ago, when I was making more money than I've ever made in my life, when life was too good, it was too easy. I was renting jets, out on the boat every day, living a great life. I had automated my life so much that I actually think I became disconnected from reality. I'd become disconnected from the day-to-day, that what made me great. And what made me great was loving and serving people. And so, but I had built this automated life. I'm doing conferences, I'm traveling. And I was very unfulfilled, making the most money. Everything's cash. And God said, I called you to this city 10 years ago. Are you ready to take roots here and actually do something in the city? I've always used Scottsdale as a home base, just, jet in, jet out. This is home, but go do business everywhere else and do an online internet style business. He's like, I want you to serve this city. And I'm like, I don't want to do brick and mortar. I don't want to do a location. I don't want employees. I mean, all this, nope. This is stupid. This sucks. And I did it. And I'll tell you right now, it's not easy. It's more challenging. I feel like I'm a better lover of people than I am a businessman, but I'm figuring it out. I'm praying for that right now, Bridger. I'm seeking daily wisdom. Like, God, I am spiraling. Some days I just feel like, man, what am I doing? What is this guy who used to be 280 pounds, body fat of like 35%? Who are you owning a gym in one of the fittest cities in the entire world? Like, who are you to do that? You're not qualified. But I don't have to be qualified by man. I'm qualified by God. And so I'm doing it anyway, and figuring it out. So yeah, build a parachute. Some of you guys need to build a parachute and jump. Because you're like, and again, bless this podcast. Please listen to it, but apply it. Do something with it. Some of you might need to pause this right now and go take action, because you're so drugged up on personal development, and you're going to go now buy Church Boy to Millionaire, and you're going to go on and watch 48 more free podcasts and YouTubes. And you're going to keep praying about it. Then you're going to get on the phone and message Bridger, and the price is still going to be the same. And you're like, I should, I would, I could have. Dude, pull the trigger, buy the course, hire a coach, or just get in the game. Stop praying about it and taking action. You've prayed about it. You freaking prayed about it. It can't get any more clear. The answer is yes. People, being in the health business, people are like, I'm praying about if I should join your program or not. You mean to lose 40 pounds? Yeah, I don't know if God wants me to be healthy. My God, they don't say it like that, but that's how I interpret it. So You're telling me God doesn't want you to lose 40 pounds. God doesn't want you to join a world-class luxury health and wellness club for $199 and includes everything it does. You're telling me that wouldn't be of God. And I have a chapter in here. It's called the God card. Everyone God cards everything. Like, well, God, nobody can argue if God said it, right? So it's like, frick, man.
Talk about the God card for a
Dude,
second.
the God card is so overused. I need to pray about it. Okay. What'd he say? Well, I don't know. I need to pray about it. Well, then pray about it. Like everyone but if I tell you right now, Bridger, if I'm on the phone with you and you're like thinking about it, what's happening? Fear is setting in.
Totally.
Accountability. Oh, people do not want to be held accountable in this day and age.
Absolutely.
So accountability is starting to set in. Bridger's about ready to make me better. It's going to cost me. It's going to be an investment. It may have to go on my credit card. I'm going to hand him $6,000. That means I'm accountable because I put my money down. But man, Bridger's a good closer though. How am I going to tell him no? Ding, 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 ding. You haven't prayed in a month. God, I just need to pray about it, and I don't think God wants me. That's what I mean. It's like because they know Bridger's not going to go, well, if God told you. I mean, who am I to argue with God, right? And so what happens is people just throw around the God card.
It's excuses.
It's excuses.
It's total excuses, man. And I had a guy literally tell me this the other day. He called me up. He's like, hey, Bridger, what do you think about keto? Losing weight. The guy's like 40 pounds overweight.
Right.
And I'm like, have you done it before? He's like, well, no, I was just looking into it. I'm like, well, dude, let me ask you this. How many times are you going to keep calling me about these fad diets? And when are you going to actually commit to a lifestyle of health and wellness? Like I've known the guy a couple of years and he just goes like this, fad diet after fad diet bouncing, right? And it just breaks my heart. I'm like, dude, it's not that hard, dude. Like, let's put together a formula. Let's hold you accountable. And once I gave him the program, and it was like a fraction of what I normally charge because I don't even do fitness coaching right now. I was just going to charge him a little consulting.
Right.
He's like, well, let me talk to my wife.
Oh, wife is another one. Yeah, dude, balls up, bro. Balls up.
So your wife's running
Your
the
wife
show?
needs a healthy husband. That's what I think.
That's what I'm saying.
She's tired of crawling in bed with a wide load every night and that smells, and you didn't take a shower probably either. And anyway.
I know. She's having to clean up your crap.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm like, okay.
I hope
God.
you're listening to this too, by the way.
Yeah, I hope you are too, buddy. And he's like, I'm just like, bro, like, have you read the Bible, dude? The Bible, you're supposed to be the head of your wife. You're going to say, you know what? I just invested in some coaches just like you did. Hey, you want to do this with me? You're like, dude, I'm doing this one way or another.
Right.
Do you want to do this with me? You were leading her to a new decision. And that's how men need to do it.
Right.
And that's why I started this podcast, Doug, because there's too many people living in the gap.
Yeah.
They're living in the excuses.
Right.
They're shackled up by the expectations of others, by society, by culture, by university, even by some of the church lingo, that holds people back that are created for business ownership, kingdom building stuff. And it's like, dude, until you can look yourself in the mirror, take ownership and accountability, those shackles will be on you the rest of your life.
Absolutely. Everyone's living in the blame.
Yeah, they're living in the blame game. So if someone is inspired from the show, walk me through like a 5-step or a 3-step. You know how these gurus have these steps?
Yeah.
If you were to put together your guru step, what are 5 practical steps someone watching that maybe broke $0 in their bank account, right? I know you said you said some of them, but piece it together so someone's like, Doug, I'm fired up. You got
Absolutely.
me. Let's roll.
Yeah. Well, if you get 5 steps out of me, there'll be 5 different tomorrow. So I'm gonna roll with the spirit here and say number one is non-negotiable. It's personal responsibility.
Yeah.
You are where you are because of your previous choices, and so don't try to argue it. Don't try to blame your parents. Don't try to blame that last business partner. Don't tell me you got screwed. You maybe did, but there were things that you didn't do that got you to where you are. So number one is take personal responsibility. It's a non-negotiable. Number 2, what can you control right now? And I'm on this big kick right now, Bridger, because T and I stopped drinking 2 years ago, and our life has leveled up.
Let's go.
And too many of you guys are even if it's not a big issue for me. Guess what? It's diluting your clarity. It's diluting your ability to hear God in this season. It's diluting your decision making. It's poison to your muscles. Like it's there are seasons. Have you earned the right? I mean, to me, I look at alcohol as celebration. Do you have anything to celebrate right now? Look at your life right now. Look at your bank account. Look at where you live. Look at the car you're driving in right now. And do you have anything to celebrate? And if you do, then freaking go to Mexico or go to the Netherlands once, twice a year, 3 times a year, go down to the Caribbean, rent yourself a yacht, go on a cruise, take your wife somewhere, stay somewhere nice, and celebrate and have a good bottle of wine, have some good margaritas in a safe place with good friends, and celebrate the previous 3 months of work. If that's not the life you're living right now, then throw out the freaking vodka. Go get rid of it. And I'm dead serious about this. Some of you guys think it's no big deal, just a little bit on the side. No, it's a big deal. So number 2 is you can control your diet. Number 3 is I think you can get up earlier or stay up later. I don't know which. Number 4 is this was the biggest thing for me, and these are so simple. Like, these are all within anyone's control. This doesn't cost anybody money. In fact, it's going to save you money on the next one. You need to cancel Netflix. You need to cancel or your cable. You need to stop watching TV. And number 5 is you need to delete apps on your phone or access to certain websites that are taking you off course. Twitter might not be serving you, or X. TikTok is not on my phone right now. Why? Because yes, as a 46-year-old businessman who loves my family, that is in a season of grind and hustle and making things happen, is if I'm able, after the success I live in and have, to still get sucked into TikTok, to get too much on defense and not on offense. Again, unless you're only going to be on offense, get off of it for a season. Delete some stupid apps. I can keep going, 6, 7, and 8. And they're all basic stuff because most people aren't doing the most basic things.
So good. Part 2. What's the 5 steps to success? List 2. you ever seen Jordan Peterson's 12 Rules for Life?
Yeah.
He came out with the second one.
Right. 7-minute abs. 6 minutes. I'm sorry. 6 minutes.
Yeah. Hit me with another 5 steps.
Yeah, 5
Part
steps.
2. 5 steps to change your life with Doug Wood. The millionaire mindset.
Oh, man.
What do you got? Hit another 5. You were on a roll, dude.
Bro. I'll tell you some more good ones. If you're married, go home and tell your wife how much you appreciate her. Just honor her and serve her. Like, go home and just tell her, stop picking her apart. Stop telling her, all the ways that you wish she would do X, Y, and Z. But just go home and thank her for what she does and how she does it. Number 2, if you're married, if you have kids, connect with your kids. Are you connected? You're in their same space, but is everyone just on their phones all the time? Are you actually connecting? Are you spending alone time with your kids, or is it always coming home and it's about work? If you're not married, are you doing and you're looking for the right one? Are you spending time in the places that Mrs. Right or Mr. Right might be? They're not in Old Town Scottsdale every single Friday and Saturday night. And you probably personally know this at midnight. Nothing good happens after 11 p.m. I'm just telling you.
I agree with that.
Nothing good happens
true.
after 11 p.m. But in term, and then if I'm keeping going, I'm just telling you things that I consciously do every single day.
These are valuable. And I appreciate
and they're more life lessons because again, there's a lot more better business 7 steps to success guys out there. But I'll tell you what, you hang out with me, you're going to learn how to love your family better. You'll hang out with me, you're going to learn how to love your kids. You're going to be a better man. The next one would be get yourself in bigger rooms. Get yourself around bigger people. It's awesome to see who's joined the Hive, and it's a bigger room.
It's awesome, dude.
You got to pay to play. You got to pay to be in there. But it's amazing how it challenges the people. You some of you guys are going to attending broke churches and broke mindseted churches, and you're hanging out with the same people. You're like, oh, you got to leave my church. You might have to if they're broke, and I don't mean broke financially. I'm talking broke spiritually, mentally, they're negative. They're toxic to you. They're as bad as spending a night in the bar at night. Yeah. Absolutely. So go get yourself in a bigger room. Go to a place that makes you uncomfortable. Lose some friends for a season. And then, you know what? You're going to have to sacrifice for a season. I'm in a sacrifice season right now. I am grinding. And you're like, Doug, you're 46-year-old and you're grinding. Yeah, I am, because there's a bigger me out there. There's a bigger tomorrow. There's a bigger impact I have to make. I want to leave a legacy, for my kids. So, yeah, absolutely. Is that 9 or is that 10 or 12? I don't know.
It's good, though. It's all good stuff. Couple more life. I think you lost your screw here.
Yeah, break my glasses here as we're talking, but we're gonna fix
Dude,
these.
you're so fired up, man. You're thinking about these life lessons. So, before we move on from the life lessons, and I want to get into 2 other topics. I want to talk about your gym. Okay, at the end, we're gonna hit some really good word tracks for the gym, And I want to talk about sales for a second because, man, like you've probably heard every objection in the book. I mean, you've personally sold hundreds of people. Am I right? Hundreds of people. So walk me through what are the top 3 objections that you think salespeople get and how to overcome those in 1 or 2 sentences.
See, now Bridger's asking me questions that honestly I don't feel like I have a lot of wisdom in. I'm going to tell you what I do in sales. If you connect with people, vulnerably authentic, you're going to quickly find their pain point. I'm going to zero in on their pain point, not because I'm going to sell them, because I want to help them. And so until you know what they want, too many people go right into their spiel. Nobody gives a crap about your spiel and about your stuff. I'm broke. Teach me how to be better. Fix me. And I connect a lot through story. I connect a lot through my own pain. That's why I purposely have said things already on this podcast to where it'd be like, oh, dude, like Doug's dealt with pornography? Yes. Doug has overcome it? Yes, but I would not say I'm out of the closet. Well, I got to be careful on that one. I can't say I'm out of the. I can't say I'm out of the woodworks because it's something I'm still contending for a pure marriage to this day. Even though I'm living in purity, it doesn't mean I'm above it. You don't graduate a season and you're just like, dude, got that one fixed. Oh, no, you like
vices are vices.
Yeah,
bro.
you got to keep working. And so I purposely say these things to create an opportunity where people will be like, hey, tell me more. Like, or Bridger's different. Doug's different. So how do I overcome an objection? I'm going to connect with you vulnerably. I'm going to connect with you authentically, so you can see I'm a real dude. I'm a real person. I genuinely want to help you. And here's the thing: you can't fake genuine. You know a genuine person, and so if you genuinely want to help someone, yes, I'm going to make money. Yes, if I close the sale, absolutely, I'm going to make money. But that's why I've aligned myself with a business or businesses that only helps people in an area that I'm passionate about. My school helps kids, the family. My gym helps people in their fitness, and my Optavia business helps people with weight loss and nutrition. It's like those are the 3 areas that I feel like those have been my biggest struggles. Now those are the biggest areas I'm winning, so I'm going to develop businesses around those that I don't have to manufacture something up.
So good, Doug. So I think one of the things that you've touched on is how important your faith is in everything you do. Were you born a believer, and did you ever stray away? And do you have, what's been your faith journey up until this point, and where are you at now?
Yeah, I was born into a Christian home. My dad was like on the board, a deacon, elder at the church. Both of my grandfathers are pastors, so I was spit out on the pew.
So you're a church boy.
Man, I'm definitely a church boy. But we all have to make that decision for ourselves. And I remember at 17 years old, I was with the youth group one time, and that's when I actually gave my life to the Lord. And I feel like I chose God for me, not it was something I was forced to do. And man, I've been serving God ever since. Obviously, we all go through seasons where we're closer to where He's a friend versus someone who feels distant or far away. But I always have my faith, and my walk with the Lord has always been, I would say, strong. And it's an area that I've continued to grow in.
Amazing. Yeah. Thanks for sharing that. Yeah, I'm always very open to share my faith, when it comes to these podcasts. And a lot of people are like, dude, how do you share your faith? I'm like, dude, it's the most important thing to me in life. How could I not share it? It's the thing that changed my life, transformed my life, and it gives me eternal life. Right. Life here and in the next life. Right. And it's just like, it's everything, dude. When you understand who God is and who He created you to be, it's like, how could you not talk about the most important thing? Right. Is your faith even real if that's the case? Yeah. Right. So, and I grew up Christian as well. My parents weren't pastors, but they were, they loved the Lord, and they were first generation Christians, so they were still working through their own things. But hopefully, I can continue to be a better man and build a strong legacy like you kind of have started to grow up in. But you talked about something that I think shackles a lot of men. Research shows that 75% of Christian men struggle with pornography at least on a monthly basis. So, not saying you're I'm not saying you're an expert. I have had porn coaches on the program before. But what were some steps you personally took to start to step into purity when you did fall into that? Like, what are some, I guess, how there's like warning signs, like, dude, don't go down that path. It's going to suck you in. Like in Proverbs, it talks about don't walk past the door of a prostitute. Sure. Walk me through some of those practical steps someone can help get back on the right path.
Well, it's first of all, I think any man knowing that you're not alone, And everyone, man, thinks it's their own struggle or that's their own secret thing. And number two, and that's number one. And then number one for the ladies is, if ladies are listening to this, you have to understand that your husband or your boyfriend or whatever's going on out there with men. And I know ladies, I think it's a very low percentage of women that struggle
It's
with
higher
porn.
now. It's like 30-40%.
Is it really?
For
Okay.
Gen Z women, it's almost half.
Wow. So see, I didn't know that.
It's raised. It's like 3-4x
really?
as they've started to really push, sexualization of,
Oh
of
yeah,
children.
everything's so
It's horrible.
sexualized. But I think the biggest thing, Bridger, is women have to know that if I'm going to talk to just the women of married men for a second, it's not you or your body, or it's your husband's porn addiction has nothing to do with you. It's an internal thing. First of all, I tell my wife all the time, I like boobs and I like butts. I like yours the most, but I'm a guy.
Yeah.
I'm tempted.
Yeah.
It's a good thing. It's a good thing if I like boobs and butts. The way I look at it,
Otherwise, you're out of the closet.
Literally, right. So,
And I've heard some crazy stories, and we don't want that.
no, right. So I'm very open about that. But after that, I talked about personal development.
Sure.
My wife and I set out to go to a marriage type of conference a year. We do two things for our families. And then I also go to a men's focused conference where I'm growing the man to where it's just for men. And of course, then I go to lots of business stuff too. So I'm literally, if I'm going to grow in my purity as a man, I'm going to get myself in other rooms with other men who are talking about this or are growing in their faith, growing in Christ, that's open to talk about it. So like right now, I'm a part of a few different groups and they're not porn accountability groups. They're dudes getting together that it's on the table every couple of weeks. It's like common conversation versus a taboo conversation. So for me, I've discovered, now I know how a lot of people have different blocks on their phone and put different, I don't know, like not tracking devices, but like accountability things. I haven't had to do that, but I have had to put myself in groups and different men to where at any given time I could bring it up or I could talk about it where there's accountability there. So I think the biggest thing is talking about it, stop isolating about it, and getting yourself in other groups with other men who are growing. And I know doing podcasts like this, I usually end up getting a few DMs like, hey, Doug, do you have some tools? Do you have some resources? Absolutely, I do. Always open to talking about it. But first of all, you have to be open to the conversation, and we can't hide this. How about you? What have you discovered?
Well, I actually, for me, I hired a guy a couple months ago because I've really been growing in my faith. And it wasn't, some guys have it really bad, a couple times a day, once a day. For me, it was something that would pop up every week, every couple weeks.
Yeah.
And it was just kind of lingering in the background. And it's just like, dude, I don't want this to linger. Like you said, I don't want to be grabbing that plastic water cup and getting the soda every once in a while, right? Like I want to hammer this thing, And so I wanted to go deeper and really create a pure heart because I think that, I always say this on my show. It's like, for the single guys, dude, if you can't be faithful to yourself when you're single, dude, you're not going to be faithful to your wife.
Nope.
You know what I'm saying? And it's true because I've seen guys that are like, oh, once I get married, my lust problem's going to be gone.
No.
Does it go away?
No, absolutely not. And you turn into a horn dog in your 40s too. I mean, sex gets better. I mean, I'm really great. My wife and I have a unique story. We both we were both virgins when we got married.
Really?
Yeah. So we waited. I was 21, she was 19. So I'm not saying we were up into our 30s and had to wait a long time, but I tell you what, that was important to us. And back in the day, I was told like, oh yeah, people who wait, have better sex and stuff. I don't know about that. You're still figuring crap out your first couple of years. But I will say, I'm living today. I believe in the fruits. Again, your decisions today affect your tomorrow. I'm able to have conversations with my son. I'm able to have conversations with my daughter. And I will say my wife are more in love with each other than we ever have been. We're at 25 years. We literally cannot keep our hands off each other. And I'm dead serious.
That's amazing.
Because one, we work hard.
Yeah.
We work out together hard. And we have a deep love for
spiritual
for
love.
another. It is.
Yeah.
There's a deep, we're literally, it's founded on God. And guess what? We're going to, hump the shit out of each other. And we love it. And I say that because Tia will listen to this and we love to talk freaky. Publicly or privately, like we don't care. There needs to be more Christian couples.
Amen.
The world and TikTok has given you plenty to see online. Guess what?
Outside of marriage.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Why
So
can't
you know
we talk
what?
about
We're
marriage?
gonna talk about, dude, people that love the Lord that also just freaking mount up and get crazy with each other because you can, and it's so amazing.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's awesome.
That's awesome, man. That's so inspiring to hear, man, because I have heard some of these guys that let their marriages grow stale.
Yeah.
That's them lacking personal responsibility in that area, not doing the things that got you attractive in the first place.
Yeah.
Because think about men and women when they're single.
Yeah.
What are they doing before they go out?
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
you know
Yeah,
what I'm
yeah.
saying? What, and it's like they start to lose that. They start
Yeah.
losing the personal responsibility. Well, no wonder, I assume your relationships go stale. Are you doing
Yeah.
this? No. And it's like when you treat your wife like you're still dating her.
Dude, I do. No joke. I shaved my balls this morning.
Let's go.
I shaved my balls this
Let's
morning,
go.
dude. Why? Because I love my wife. I honor my wife. I also honor myself.
Yeah.
And I believe the first. I hope I get some hate for this. I believe that the person that lets their personal hygiene habits go is typically deeply connected to pornography, or something has happened when their hygiene and they're just getting hairy and they're getting gross and they're not shaving, they're not being well kept. It's because something deeper is going on internally with them that typically has to do with something sexual.
Yeah, trauma.
Yes.
Time, yeah.
Yeah. And it's like, no, I'm very pure, but like, dude, I want my wife to keep it clean, so I got to keep it clean to her. It's a two-way street, bro.
Right. I like that, dude. I agree.
You know?
I'm a big
I need some of
manscaper.
Scotty's, he's selling the
Manscapes,
new,
right?
the Manscapes, man.
Yeah, I
I'm
love
not
the
using
Manscapes.
that,
I
but I
got a
do use my
Manscaped,
wife's, you got to get these little razors. They have like not
Safeguards
lube
on them or
top.
something?
Yeah, they're
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah.
They're like designed for women, and
Okay,
vaginas
interesting.
and stuff.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
actually, they're good on the old balls.
Good to know.
Yeah, they won't cut you.
So personal hygiene is not only important for you single guys trying to wife up.
Yeah.
Okay, keep yourself pure,
Yeah.
but also when you get married, man, that's so good. We'll have to do a part 2, man, when I meet
on,
my
on
woman.
manscaping.
Yeah,
Come on,
man,
we'll
part
do
2
it,
on
bro. We'll do
manscaping,
it.
dude. That was fire, dude. So as we're kind of transitioning into, I want to jump into, see if there's any other topics we could hit on before we get into the gym stuff, man, because it's just a lot of fun. We'll have to have you back because I think there's a lot we can pull apart as I eventually hopefully meet a woman, maybe at Hive, who knows?
Come on, man. Yes.
I'm praying for my wife. I'm being faithful.
Well,
being
if you
pure.
are, God's gonna, I think, deliver soon.
Thank you.
Because I don't see you playing hard to get, and some people have this big list of what they want in a woman, and by the time they're 45, they're like, dude, is she a woman? And and does she say she loves God? Okay, you're in. I mean,
I got 3 things, man.
Yeah,
I'm
it's,
simple, dude.
so,
I'm simple.
right.
It's like number 1, dude. Like she's got to know who she is
Yeah.
in her identity in Christ. She's got to be grounded on the
Yep.
rock and growing on
Yep.
the rock and plugged into the vine, right?
Yeah.
He's the wine dresser, and it's like if she's not fired up about growing towards that direction, like it's not because the church is telling me that. It's because that's the direction I'm going, and she's
Right.
going to get left behind, dude.
Right.
Like she's going to literally get left behind me going 100 miles towards God, listening to him in obedience.
Yeah, and they have to be. That's the thing, is the woman has to be self-actualized and have her own identity in Christ, and the identity, and it can't be codependent on you, because that's where it'll crumble.
That's one of the number 1 things that I've noticed dating these younger women is they haven't developed into that yet.
Right.
And that's why I'm just like, you attract who you are. So why
Yeah.
don't I just go deeper on myself, me
Right.
get clearer, me go dive my roots a bit deeper in it. And she's got, and inside of that identity, there's going to be her core values. What she values in life has to align with what I value.
You'll see it. You can't bury a worm.
No.
I always say date someone for at least a few seasons. Meaning you got to see them in the summer, the winter, and the fall. Around a few holidays, you got to be with them. How they act around their family. You got to see their whole family too. You got to do more than one dinner with the family. Like you need to go on a family trip with somebody for like 2 or 3 nights, even staying in different hotel rooms. Why? Because nobody can bury their crap. A family cannot bury.
Right.
2 or 3
every
days
family
family
has
has their. You can't hide your stuff.
You can't hide it, dude.
And
a
that's
good
my
point.
biggest advice is like, dude, you don't have to date a year. If you're like, dude, I really think this is the right one, awesome. Today's April, great. You want to propose come September, awesome. You need to plan some strategic outings with your family, their family, how they operate around. Like you need to because these are the people that's going to be raising your kids. These are going to be your in-laws. These are the people that are going to have access to your grandkids. Like you gotta see everything, and most people don't take me up on it. They're just like, "Oh no, this is really good," and they don't do it. They don't do it. A
Hold
year
me
later,
accountable.
2 years later, they're paying the price. I should have listened, but
That's a heartbreak, man. I really would like. I've been praying. This is in the season of purity. Like I'm really praying to get around people like yourself who've been in it for a long time, that have some wisdom. Guys like Dinu here in the building. He's got some good wisdom.
man, that's a brother.
That's a good brother right there.
Good
Good
brother.
dude.
Yeah, we've been friends with him for 19 years.
That's
And
what I
that's
heard.
Heather, that's a man of God. Him and Heather, very similar relationships to T and I. So.
Yeah, I know. It's very cool. And that's, they speak super highly of you. So I want you to know that. So,
I pay him on the side. So
That's funny.
That's not true, by the way.
He's
I made
joking.
it sound like, wait, what?
That's why I'm laughing. Yeah. No, but man, that's such good advice. Okay, so let's say I do that. Okay, give me some red flags, like run. Because here's the thing. I'm not gonna say I grew up in the perfect family. A lot of people grew up in dysfunction. It's normal to them. Dude, I probably have some stuff I need to become aware of. Like, dude, that's not normal. That's not a standard you should have in your relationship. Right. What are some non-negotiables that's like, dude, this woman's crazy, your family's crazy, you should run?
How they speak of their family.
Okay.
How they speak of other people. You've probably had relationships in your life, business and personal, that have went not good, not ended. There might be people in this building that you don't think that fond of, but guess what? You'd never tell me, nor would I tell you. Why? We don't talk about other people. I made a decision not to bash other people. Even if I had a fallout with somebody, even if I think it was their fault, guess what? I did play a role somehow, even if I have a blind spot to it. So somebody that's coming to you bashing about what a jerk their dad is or their sister is, if they're doing too much bashing, it's a big, big red flag. And bashing could just come as like, oh, my dad's really X, Y, and Z. And it's good that they might see that, but I'm typically like, let me meet your dad. Like, where's this energy come from? Because typically it's only going to magnify. I'm always looking at just how people talk of one another. And another area is if you guys, especially if you're dating in a pure relationship, and let's just say you're not going to have sex or whatever. What are they doing? How can you compromise? Will they compromise for you? My buddy John, he used to live here in Scottsdale, and he would always say the girls with John 3:16 or a scripture in their bio were the easiest lay of the first night. He said because he made a joke about it. He's just like, just because someone puts a scripture up, oh yeah, I'm X, Y, and Z. But again, they actually go out and get tested. They fall in love. And next thing you know, he's able to sleep him. Now that was his desire. He's just kind of a free bird. My point is though, it's just like if you have boundaries set up,
right,
and you would want the woman to be held accountable as much as you would. Does that make sense? What I'm saying?
What you're saying is when you guys start to fall in love, is she pushing you to have sex?
Yeah. Or is she pushing you to work harder, which is a good thing?
Absolutely.
Like, is she already starting to be like, oh, what time are you going to be done with that meeting?
Oh, you're taking so much work.
If you're
values
like,
working hard.
if she's sensing already that if she met you at the pace you're running now, and then a couple months later she's already trying to slow down that pace, you got some realignments to figure out because it's only going to magnify when you get married.
Absolutely, kids.
So those are just the type of things where I'm just you're always just kind of watching who can walk on who early on. But that's a marriage episode. We'll get into that.
That's a great. Those are already some great pointers that I can already see very tangibly see from other relationships I've had. I'm like, oh, shouldn't have dated her that long.
Yeah.
But it's really good learning lesson. I hope you guys are taking notes. Anything else on the relationship side that you give to some younger guys that are looking to find something real, find something lasting, because it's so rare nowadays.
Yeah.
But it's really not though. If you look, I mean, the more I look for it, the more I find it.
Yeah, the only other thing T and I talk a lot about when we're teaching on marriage or relationships is we make sure that we're aligning on the common goals and the big important goals. Anytime people get into the keeping score of like, you went out Friday night, I get to go out. Like if it's already in the tit for tat, or I paid for the last meal, you paid for this meal. Personally, I think I'm old school. I think the dude should
pay every time.
Pay for a lot for almost a long time. Yeah. I mean, and I'm not in the dating world today, so it's easy for me to say that. But I'm just like, dude, I would never go out like right now. If for some reason I was to lose Tia, which we've given each other full permission to redate and remarry. If I was to lose her, dude, I couldn't imagine allowing someone else to pay on the first night for the first date or the second or the third. Is that normal today? Where like you split the check or like the girl buys for the guy?
Not usually. I mean, I've never done it.
Yeah.
I mean, unless I'm really unattracted to the woman. I mean,
sure. You're like, if I can save $50 here, I'm gonna try.
Yeah, this was a mistake. Can we split the check? No.
Yeah, right.
I'm half joking, but
half.
Yeah, half joking. But I'm trying to think if man, it's a blue moon if I've had a girl pay for the check. I mean, I've had girls offer.
Have you? Yeah. I think that's cool.
Yeah, I think that's high
value. You know what? Classic. I respect that.
I do respect that, but I usually don't let them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I
Yeah.
might have once or twice.
Yeah.
Some mistakes. I was like, should not check. No.
Right.
But no, I do believe in old school, and I think it just comes back to the man and woman's role.
Absolutely.
Man's the protector and the provider of the household.
Absolutely.
In fact, I had this funny reel I'll have to show you here after we're done, but it's like, feminism is a problem, and
Yeah.
it's like man and women are not equal, and it just breaks it down in the story, lined with the Bible.
Sure.
It's really, really funny and good, but yeah, okay. So I want to talk about your gym, and then we'll wrap up. You got 5 minutes?
Oh man, yeah.
Okay, let me just message this guy. Hold on a second, and then we'll do this. 1 second. What do you think so far?
I love it. Do you just edit this out?
Yeah, we'll just edit it out.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, I have editors edit the whole thing.
Nice.
I try to keep most of it in, but I had to get up and go here and
Right.
whatever. But he's like, "We're gonna post this."
I'm like, this is a free spirit one.
No, I have them edit. They'll edit this out. I'm just gonna text this guy real quick. My next call. I'm gonna say,
Yeah, I've got a 3:30.
okay, perfect. I'm gonna say, "Hey Tim, wrapping up my last meeting right now. Be on Zoom." This guy doesn't look like he did his homework so often. I might have to reschedule. Oh, yeah, he already rescheduled anyways. Perfect. Awesome. Perfect. Dude, I love how things work out. The guy needed to reschedule anyways. Okay, so you'll go another 10 minutes?
Yeah,
Cool?
it's good.
Okay. Well, I appreciate you sharing it and being, vulnerable, being honest about where you're at with building the hive. And, I really think, and I'm actually in the exact same season. That's why I asked. I'm in a season of like doubling down on my business. I've got a lot of overhead. I've hired the good people, A players. I'm paying people well, and it's like it's a little scary.
It
man,
is.
and I'm taking, I'm putting all the profits back into the business to
Yeah.
scale the ads, and so in that season, right? It's like the favor and following the favor of God and the faith is what I hold on to, and use worship as a weapon. I'm just like, dude, I'm just gonna give it to you, God. I'm gonna walk in faith, and just let the fear evaporate in the presence of worship and praise. But that ties into the season you're in now, which is building Hive.
Yeah.
So take me back to the moment when you're killing it. You're making
Yeah.
$750,000
Yeah.
a month take home
Yeah.
profit, Optavia, and you're killing it, $44 million a month top line, and you're just like, man, I feel like I'm coasting. I feel like there's another level.
Yeah.
What did you hear God say, and why Hive?
Why Hive is to take territory in the city for him. T and I love to reach people through community. We're community people. And we felt like we had traveled the whole entire world, saw all these spas and all these different things, and nothing had ever been done quite like this. And we wanted to do something that literally had never been done before, that was a one-stop shop, like a country club of health, all under one roof. But more than anything, we came to the city 10 years ago, and we moved here from Portland, Oregon, and we just flat out desired to serve this city. Sounds like, oh, we have something that they don't. We felt like we wanted to really get in with people in this city and love them, serve them, help them in their marriage. One thing that about this city, Bridger, is that a lot of people have a fit body, and a lot of people have cool cars and big bank accounts. But my question is, how's your soul? How's your spirit? What doubts, what insecurities, what's going on at home? What's going on when you're all alone? That's those things that begin to creep up. And this city also judges others on what's their health look like and what's their success. I mean, nobody goes around asking for people's bank accounts or receipts, but there is a natural respect level when you can just tell if someone's in the game and how much time. And so T and I we already know financially we're there. We already know we're always pursuing ourselves physically. We're not perfect, but we're always there. But we also know we're walking with a level of authority that God has given us to be our complete whole self, and that we wanted to bring people literally to know God. Tia spent a lot of time, even like 7-8 years ago. She was caught up in the crystals and the ding dings and the
Really?
just a little bit of a walkabout, and this this city has a lot of those
The New Agers.
New Agers, walking around, going around, ding dinging and clinging, and I'm fine with that. I don't knock it because everyone's on this spiritual path.
Sure.
But I notice all those people are still searching. There's still a lot of confusion, and so we wanted to do something that would definitely attract them and bring them in. But we wanted to create more than a gym. We wanted to create more than just a fitness studio. We wanted to make sure that people's spirit, their mind, their hearts were as healthy as their bodies.
I love that. And I can relate to the mission. In fact, you've got some equipment that changed my life in your facility. And that's why I love it's Hive Fit Club. It's more than just a gym. It's an experience, right?
Yeah.
And one of those pieces of equipment that I encourage people to check out. If you're watching this, you're in Arizona, it's worth the drive, right? I've got some guys coming in from, Chandler, Gilbert. They're going to come check it out. It's worth the drive, guys. Hyperbaric oxygen chamber.
Yeah.
Changed my life. Did that for 45 days while I was recovering from Lyme. It was one of the things I was like, I'll do whatever it takes.
Yeah.
Got in this big chamber, decompressed, went down, breathed oxygen for an hour, hour and a half, 45 minutes, whatever it was. Got back up, and it was nuts. I'd go in, I finally started to get energy again.
Yeah.
And I was bedridden, literally would crawl up the stairs. I was so weak, so, crippled. And then because my energy was up, I was kind of insecure because I'd lost a lot of muscle. I didn't want worried what other people would think, but I was like, if I let the fear overcome me, my life's going to be exactly the same way in 5 years. And the moment when you're like, dude, if my life is going to be like the next 5 years, the last the last 5 years, like the next 5 years, I'm in big trouble. That's the moment people change. Yeah. And that was the moment I changed. I was like, I'm going to go to the gym anyways. And I got sore. And when I went into that hyperbaric, I was sore. I'd come out, I wasn't.
Yeah.
It's insane. So that's one of the equipment that you have there to help people recover and really have health, because they say a man with his health has 1,000 wishes.
Right.
But a man without his health has but one wish.
Yep.
And that's really what I think the Hive Fit Club, it's more than just the aesthetic. It's more than just the vanity. It's more about how are you doing on a health level? How are you doing on a soul level? So what are some of the other pieces of equipment that people can come in and use to really take their mindset, take their health, take their vitality to the next level?
Well, before Hive, we had 8 different memberships in this city. So I had my favorite gym.
Okay.
Had a place here at the Optima where we got our sauna and cold plunges.
Okay.
We had a place where we got our IVs.
Okay.
We had our favorite smoothie bar, even though it's not a membership. I had a tanning membership. All right. Had this other place where we did PEMF and compression. And let's not forget the Hocket, which is the ozone therapy, that's one of our most popular machines. Have you done that yet?
No, I haven't.
Oh my gosh.
What is it?
The Hocket is like this. It's like an intense steam sauna. It's this pod. You sit in, your head is out. It's pumping this chamber full of ozone. It's pulling out all the mold and the toxic metals in your body.
I have mold poisoning.
Yes. Yeah, you need a few sessions and the red light.
Okay.
And to pull that out. And then the other one was I had my testosterone doctor and T had her hormone therapy doctor. Is that 8 or 9? We had all these different memberships around the city, and we realized that it's like doing figure eights around the city, and we need to create a one-stop shop for health. So at the Hive, there's everything you want under one roof, and guess what? It's just done at an elevated, vibey. Somebody said the other day, Doug, it's not luxury, it's like a vibe. It is a vibe, but you will notice it's the best equipment. It's literally, it's world-class.
It's a world-class gym. So if someone's in Arizona, they want to come check it out, what's the best way for them to reach out, get connected? How do they schedule? What's the process look like?
You can go to hivefitclub.com or find us on Instagram at hivefitclub.com.
Do you guys do tours, or what's the
you
first
can come
best
in,
step?
you can do tour. The team will walk you through, give you a world-class tour. Also, what's unique is we have our day pass Hive experience is $50. It includes a workout. You could also take one of the fit classes. It includes sauna. It includes cold plunge. It includes compression, and it includes PEMF electric therapy.
Wow!
And so there's a lot you get to really get a taste of everything. Oh, and did I mention we have a DEXA scan?
Oh, dude, that's the best part.
There's nobody's ever been into a gym that you can get all that, because it's like a merge of a med spa and a gym and therapies all under one roof.
That's awesome, man. So if someone's watching this, they want to come and get the full experience. They're going to book an appointment online, right? They're going to come in. It's $50. They get to experience all the things you just said. And then, will they get, membership? They'll walk through the membership online, or do you want to share any of those numbers now? What do you think?
Absolutely. Well, what most people are doing right now is it's a since it's an all access, we have an all access premier membership. And this is just, you know how Scottsdale is. They're like, just give it to me all. It's like a country club. So you get everything all access, including IVs for $1,400 a month or $2,000 a month for a couple. And that is just like unlimited oxygen chambers.
It's a platinum.
You name it, it is there. And that'll take care of you. And then of course we have our base level membership that starts at $199. And so, and the best part is probably the people you meet, Bridger.
Oh, it's insane.
I mean, you go through there and it's like, there's some really, really amazing people.
Bro, there's 7 and 8 figure guys rolling around all the time.
Absolutely, there is.
I'll name drop a couple of the ones I see if
go
that's
ahead.
okay.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, my boy Cole Gordon, okay, my mentor,
Yep.
that I've spent over 70 grand to get in the same room with this guy and train from him.
Yep.
He's there every morning.
Yeah, he is.
Okay, we got Andy Elliott who pops in when he's in town.
Absolutely.
Trains at the gym and all the Elliott guys.
Yep.
Okay, we've got John Madsen,
Yep.
right? Founder of Superhuman.
Yep.
Okay, one of the #1 online fitness companies in the
Absolutely.
world. You know, they're on track to do 50 million this year. Unbelievable. Joe Polish, probably the most connected guy in the industry. He's been coaching 5 years before I was born. I got to connect with him. I've been watching this guy's stuff since I was 14.
Yeah.
So, you know, we got Joe Polish and, you know, I met Mark Jennison.
Yeah.
Right. Super cool guy.
Absolutely.
I'm helping him get a sales rep right now. So I got to see him. So it's like, not only can I go to the facility to get the best health equipment, to have the best experience in the gym. I mean, this place is designed it's designed like a jungle.
Right.
Like it takes you into this like primal feeling where you're looking around and you're like, dude, you almost feel like jumping around like a chimp or something, dude. You know, you got all this equipment. In fact, one of the equipment makes me feel like an ape, dude. You put your arms like this. I've never used it. And you like pull down.
Is it the machine I always find you on?
No, it's the one right next to it.
Oh, yeah. I know what you're talking about.
You know what I'm talking about? Like you grab like this and you're like slam dunking, you know, like an ape. And it just builds these big lats.
Big old fat lats.
Yeah, big old fat lats.
Strong lats.
Strong lats. And it's got some of the, it's equipment I've never seen before. Yeah. That is not only have I never seen it, but it works the muscles in a way like me and my friend Chris are getting the best pumps. Yeah. Right, we're getting the best pumps, best workouts. The lighting's incredible, right? The speaker sound system's insane. And it's just got a cool vibe, man. It's got like you said, it's got a great vibe.
Everything you just described is cool, but nothing's as cool as the community. Nothing's as cool as connecting with like-minded people that are growing. You know, you just name drop the people in it. But I tell you what, rubbing shoulders with people like that, people are high-fiving. People are genuinely cheering people on. People are slowing down. We have a Connect members only lounge where a lot of business is being exchanged. People are doing life. That's what matters to us, and that's what we're going to remember. I mean, there's cool equipment everywhere, and don't get me wrong. Right. I love the lights. I literally put $5 million into the design and the build out and doing all this different stuff. So you can come in there and you can get your selfies, you can get your videos. I mean, go look at our Instagram page. These reels go viral, and they're all over TikTok. But you know what? People walk out of there going, dude, I feel like a better person. I feel like an elevated person. I feel like Hive cares. You go look at our Google reviews. Hive cares. The staff is so kind. Yes, because people matter and people are first, and that's what matters at Hive.
Yeah, 100%. And you know, you're creating a great environment. I see you there all the time. You're leading by example. You're working out there. You're connecting with people. You got some
5:45 a.m. T and I will be there every single day with our trainer. Absolutely,
it's amazing.
Yeah.
You got some world-class trainers. People can get personal training at the Hive as well. And it's centrally located. Whether you're in Old Town Scottsdale, whether you're in North Scottsdale,
it's 15 minutes from anywhere you're at.
Yeah. Let me ask you this. A lot of different gyms around here, right? We've got Lifetime, Mountainside.
Sure.
We've got Glory Gains right up the road.
Yeah.
Why Hive?
Because you can go anywhere and just find a gym. You're not going to find a community. You're not going to find a place where literally you walk in. The moment you walk in, you're going to be like, I feel like I belong. I feel like I want to level up. I feel like I want to have a better marriage. I feel like I want to pursue. I could find my wife here. I feel like God is in this place. And that's why Hive is. We're different. We're creating an experience. We're taking people next level. We're introducing people to modalities and thermas and all kinds of things that, yes, are going to take your health to the next level. But you know what? You're going to walk in there quickly and realize, you know what? I can grow. Yes, my income, but I'm going to grow who I am here, and I'm going to walk out and grow and become a better person.
I love it, man. Love it. What was it? Okay, we're going to cut this part out, but I'm trying to think of some other. What did Scotty say? He said, what did he say? It was something like, why, what did he say? I asked him that, okay, because you'll bleep out the gyms. That was a good clip.
Yeah.
That was a really good clip.
Yeah.
You crushed that, dude.
Yeah.
You even got emotional there, too. I think that's going to be a good clip. What else could we? Oh yeah, I have a list of questions actually. ChatGPT.
You're like, oh yeah, I got a list.
Okay, hold on. Let's take a look here. Ooh, I got a good question for you, bro. This is a good question. You talk about at the Hive, it's not just the muscles you build at the gym, but it's who you become. What's the emotional or the character transformation that someone at Hive could go through or may go through when joining?
You're going to walk into Hive and you're going to probably actually be intimidated. You're going to be kind of caught up like, I've never seen a gym like this. One of my favorite things on giving a tour is like watching the jaws hit the floor. Literally, they're like, and you're better off just stop talking. I tell my team all the time, just stop talking and let them take it in. Or if they don't already walk in like this. But people quickly realize that it's time to level up. I'm a little bit challenged right now, and clips or not, I feel like I'm challenged right now because people will go out and blow $250, $300 in Old Town on a Friday night, but then they walk in and go, "Oh, yeah, expensive." I'm like, this ain't for you, bro. It comes down to be $6 a workout if you work out every single day. If you're really finding that that's expensive, how much do you value your health? How much do you value getting yourself in a bigger room? How much do you value? You'll notice also at Hive, there's no TVs. There's no access to the outside world. It's not that pretty outside anyway. So we cover it up. We create an environment where you don't even need a trainer. Why? You walk in there, you're motivated. There's good music. There's good people. There, and yeah, there's good equipment, but it's like, man, I'm here to elevate. I'm not here just sit around and twirl and flip around on Instagram all day while I'm sitting on the machine. I'm here to elevate. And so people walk in and you're immediately going to feel challenged. Either this place is for me or it's going to intimidate you and scare you. Mm-hmm. And I think at the same time people get on the phone with you and they think about hiring you as their coach. They're like, oh crap, I have to actually commit. It's not that much money, but it's whatever you decide, whatever you justify is how much money it is. Mm-hmm. And so, yeah, that's the emotion. That's what happens when you walk into Hive. Mm-hmm. You're immediately challenged. Mm-hmm. Like, dude, am I ready to get in the game? And some people just want to stay comfortable and stay where they're at, and that's okay.
Who do you not want to come to Hive? Who's the Hive not for? Who do you want to avoid?
People that are broke-minded, busted, blaming other people, comparing apples to apples, thinking like, oh, they're $20 cheaper. Dude, I ain't your $20 a month gym. I don't want to be. I'm here to help people level up. I don't want to waste your time, and I don't want you to waste mine. Mm-hmm. I don't actually need your money. I'm here to help you win in your body, soul, mind, and spirit. And we'll get you healthy. We'll get you to the next level. But I really don't want people that are complaining that my day pass is too much money. It's an experience. You're going to go there. You can spend 4.5 hours, 5 hours there on a day pass easily, and probably still not even maximize everything that you just paid for. There's a lot of value there. Oh, and you can grab a smoothie, a protein smoothie, or a coffee on the way out. So if you're like, man, that's a lot of money, I would challenge you to reevaluate your priorities and what's important to you.
I love it. Anything else you feel like we haven't covered? You want to talk about?
Dude, we've been talking a lot.
We've got a lot.
Covered a lot.
We covered it all, dude. Anything else?
I want to cover that tank top on you, man. You're looking good.
Dude, I know. It's a nice tank. You guys got some good merch. Dude, I love your shorts, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
I have the shorts. I got them for referring someone.
You did.
Got you someone that gave me a little.
Right.
But, dude, you know what I love about these? So they're perforated. Okay, it's super hot in Arizona, bro. And these are going to be the perfect summertime short because they're perforated.
That's right.
It feels
perforated.
Like, they just let the air flow, man.
Yeah, they do.
So, okay, good, man. Well,
Bridger, I want to say thank you for not just inviting me onto this, but just for being an encourager. I was doing a little selfie video as I was walking down here. I'm like, I'm getting ready to be on this guy's podcast. Obviously,
you're a 7-figure earner, multimillionaire, and I, you know, for your, not even just for your age, like you're doing things that most people in your generation aren't, because you're willing to challenge yourself. You're willing to level up. You're willing to take personal responsibility. And I look at you as a peer. I'm like, we're bros. Well, yeah, we happen to live in the same building. We work in the same building. But like you're someone who's actually doing it and walking it out, and not just talking, not just podcasting about it. Like you're living it. I see your setup in here. I see the people that you're connected with, and you're a living, walking proof of anybody at any age can take personal responsibility and say, you know what, I'm not going to be that guy. I'm not going to be that girl. I'm going to start doing what God has called me to do. And I'm not going to let limitations, I'm not going to let age, I'm not going to let Lyme disease, slow me down. And I respect that. So you're a respected man. I appreciate this. And you bring a lot of knowledge to us.
Thank you, Doug, so much for those kind words, man.
Absolutely.
Those weren't in vain. And guys, if you're watching this right now, I want you to get plugged into my dear friend Doug here. I want you to, if you're in Arizona or you're visiting Arizona, you have to put it on the bucket list to come to Hive. If you're in Arizona, make the commute. It's worth the time, right? Put on a pot. Put my show on. Listen to Bridging the Gap on the way over to the Hive, right? Bridge the gap over there, okay? But make the time to get out there. Tell Doug, okay, that you came from my show. Let him know, that you're one of the bridge builders out there.
That's right.
And they'll take care of you. And also, I want you to grab his book because, again, this is probably one of the most unique books. If you're a young man, or really anybody that wants to level up their mindset, you want to walk worthy of your calling, as it talks about in Ephesians 4:1. One of the things I love, the first statement here, it's got one of my favorite words, freedom, in it. How to find personal freedom and liberate your millionaire mindset for massive success. They can find this where?
Amazon. You can find it at churchboytomillionaire.com, or you can get the Audible, and I'll read it to you.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's on Audible. I read the whole thing. In fact, there's so much bonus in the Audible because I don't know when to stop. I wrote my own book. I read it, and as I'm like going, I'm like just ad-libbing and like adding so much more. So there's so much great content in the Audible. I cry a lot in it too, so it's pretty cool. But yeah, it's available out there. It's a hardback, or just stop in the Hive. It's for sale in the book and merch store at the Hive.
Amazing, guys. Grab a copy, Amazon, Audible, or if you're in the Hive, grab it there, guys. Doug, thank you so much for coming on the show. And if they want to connect with you personally, what's your social handles online?
Hit me up at the real Doug Wood.
There we go.
That's probably the best place, and I'm pretty active on there. Stay connected.
Amazing. Shoot Doug a thanks for having him on the show. And Doug, thank you so much, brother.
Thank
Seriously.
you, brother.
All right, guys, if you're not subscribed, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss another episode where we're bringing some of the most world-class individuals who have bridged the gap in one area of life or another. I'm your host, Bridger Rogers, and we'll see you guys next time.